is Donna from Jingles Journals, and it's Tiny Tuesday. And I want to tell everybody hi. Today we're working on our Tiny Tuesday journal, Eddie. And Eddie is part of our Dreamscape saga. Our other Tiny Tuesday was Jamie, and Jamie ran away from the orphanage. Orphanage was not very nice to Jamie, but he didn't like it, so he ran away. On the street, he met Eddie. Eddie had lived on the street for a while, but Eddie actually had a good beginning. He had his grandma, his granny, his great-granny, and you can see here we started with him as a baby, and he's grown up good, but his mama left him, and he always wondered why his mama left him. He could never figure it out, but his granny died, so he had nobody, and he did not want to go to the orphanage because he had heard stories before he even met Jamie. So he ran away and went to the street. Well, you know, we knew that from last week that Jamie was a picker. He picked up things off the street. He liked to find things and hold on to them. So this Tuesday, we're going to find out that on the street you meet some shady characters. We find out maybe later that Eddie might have been one of them. But, of course, you know, as we know, on the street, a lot of people played cards. And, of course, Jamie, he learned how really, really young. And when he ran away, that was one of the things he learned really quick. So today we're going to add to our journal where Jamie met that Jack of Clubs. And we're going to put that Jack of Clubs right here in our journal. And here we go. And we're going to add it. And we're going to think about Eddie and all the things he might have ran into on the street. And you know that for a young boy, of course, which he would have been, and he was always wondering why his mama left him, and he couldn't never figure it out, and you know, maybe he thought, well, if I could just get lucky at cards, maybe I could get lucky and find my mama. I wonder if she ever plays cards. Oh, who knows? Maybe mama does, you know. And some of these card players, they hold those secrets close to their vest, and some of these old guys here that you meet on the street, they hold their secrets close to their vest. Not only their how they play, but, you know, secrets they meet on the street and who they meet on the street. And that's the way some of these old guys were with Jamie. They might have knew his mama somewhere, somehow, but I don't think they're going to tell him. They might. You know, a lot of these old guys, not only when they play cards, they, I think they might drink a pint of ale, you know, as they go along. But let's put this Jack of Clubs on here and think about Eddie. You know, here he is, a young kid out on the street meeting these old wise guys and these old card sharps and card players, and you know, here we are, Eddie, out on the street with these old guys and learning how to play cards and asking, does anybody see my mama? I just like to know, do you guys know my mama? And you know, some of them might know his mama. Who knows? Some of them might say, oh yeah, what's her name? And he'd say, Natalie, Natasha, but Natasha's her name, but her nickname was Natty. Have you ever come across a lady named Natty? And some of them say, no, we don't know no Natty. What about you, George? Do you know Natty? And sometimes George would snicker and say, yeah, I've met old Natty. But I ain't going to tell this kid where I know Natty from. And so, you know, Eddie, he always wondered where his mama was. And there's a couple of these old guys. They hung around this on the street where Eddie was, and they were laughing and saying, oh, this kid, he's looking for old Natty, and who knows if he'll ever find her. And we don't know where Natty is. She might be in this town, she might be in it next. They might just be messing with him, who knows. These guys, they're rotten, you know. Some of these guys, they might never know anybody named Natty. Who knows? Who knows about these guys? Poor Eddie. He's running around, just a kid looking for his mama. But he's grown up fast, learned to play cards. And I think he might win a little money now and then. Because he's a smart kid. He's a smart guy. And these guys, they soon find out that Eddie is not somebody to be messed with. He could even learn some of that on his first night. They're trying to take him in and mess with him and tell him stories, but they taught him to play cards, and they're probably the ones that taught him to be aware on the street, because you never know who you'll meet. Isn't that the truth? And we put this pocket in because he's a self-made man. And Eddie's, he's going to have a lot going on here on the street, isn't he? We're going to be filling all these pages up. Yes, we are. And I had another page I wanted to work on, but I can't find it now. I know it's in there. Or maybe I took it out. I took it out. Bleh. Here it is. Eddie liked birds, and he listened to this little bird here quite often. And as you can see, I colored part of it in. And I got these. I found this picture here in a book. I'm just going to color these leaves in real quick. And you know Eddie, he likes birds. Him and Jamie both liked birds. Of course, you don't have to color your pictures in. I do. I like color. And I think Eddie liked color. You know, if you're on the street and you like to go to the park or just take a minute and listen to them birds and watch them babies. Look at them babies in that nest. Aren't they cute? Cute as pie. Eddie had heard his granny say that. Aren't those cute as pie, Eddie? Or maybe she said, oh, Eddie, you're just cute as pie. And Eddie liked pie. So he loved pie. So he knew how cute he was, because he loved pie. And so he knew his granny really loved him. Look at that. So where are we going to put these birds? Let's put them right here, because I think Eddie would find them pretty quick, don't you? I do. Cute little birds hanging around. Aren't those sweet? I think Eddie would love them. Let's ink them up, because you know this is in older days. So this paper is old, I'll tell you. This is an old book. So Eddie, on the street, in the dirt. His journal's been around a while. So you know that it's got a little bit of dirt on it. And this is Eddie. He knows all his words and he knows how to read. So he's read all about birds and he's read all about things that you can learn in a book. So he knows all about birds and things like that. But he's learning how to live on the street, isn't he? Yes, he is. And there's Eddie's birds. Little birds. Little birds right there, it says. So I think little birds would have a little bit of that nest falling out. Right like that. So I've got some Spanish moss. Sometimes you can get at the craft store, in the floral department or somewhere. Put as little or as much as you like, because Eddie he'd probably be walking along, and some of this would, birds, they like to clean their house just like people do, and he'd probably be walking along and something would hit him on the head and there's something falling out of the nest. Eddie'd look up and there those birds would be, and there that mama feeding her babies. There they were, his little birds and his mama bird in their nest. We're learning a lot about Eddie. Eddie, he tells himself, he built himself, he's a self-made man. See you later. Be kind.